Welcome. How are you doing today? For over 10 years now, I have been wearing Degree for Men deodorant, specifically this one scent, and I have been very loyal to Degree for Men. I think there was a period of time where I had a boyfriend who was like really weirded out that I wore men's deodorant, so I think I had to wear some girly shit while I was with that dude, but he also made me wear bras. Ugh. Now, the boyfriend that I'm with now, we share the deodorant. I buy the Degree for Men, he uses it too. We're both on the same team. We like Degree for Men. And yesterday I was at the drugstore, and Degree for Men has a new flavor. And I was very curious about it because the whole situation type deal feature with this new deodorant is that it like doesn't rub off on your clothes like white. If it rubs off, it's clear. And I thought, well, this looks very interesting. And the drugstore was running a twofer on these things, so I bought myself a new flavor of armpit bar. And we're gonna see how it goes. I hope I smell okay. I might not. I'm not sure how clean my clothes are. I'm having issues with my washing machine. Now, if you're wondering to yourself, didn't Danielle make a video exactly 1 year ago about her broken washing machine? Yes, I did. I didn't have a washing machine for like 6 months last year, and I never caught up once we got a new washing machine. And I'd gotten in the habit of, if I hadn't worn clothes for very long, like if I had only worn them to work and I hadn't sweated or anything, I would just hang them back up and wear them more than once before I washed them. So, Degree for Men, you better pull through. And in the same vein of me having broken appliances, if you're also wondering to yourself, Danielle, didn't your water heater go out last month? Yes, it did. People always think they want to be homeowners, but like, no, you don't. Because if something breaks, nobody's coming to fix that shit. You're stuck. For many years, I think probably like 6 or 7 years for my boyfriend, but maybe like 4 or 5 years for me, we had a stove that like the oven didn't work. Like you could turn it on and it would get hot, but like it would just kind of choose its own temperature. It was usually like way too low. So it would take like an hour to cook a frozen pizza. And the stove had 4 eyes, but only one of them worked. And there was one summer that I was like having to take a day off like every other week to stay at home trying to get a General Electric repairman to come out to my house and fucking fix my stove. It was a really fucking cool vintage stove, man. I'll put a picture somewhere over here. But the stove was like built into the kitchen, and it was like a specialty stove. It was 40 inches wide, and the counters were built around it. So you couldn't just like pluck it out of there and stick like a regular stove in, because you'd have extra space. And there are not like other 40-inch stoves on the market. Not regular ones, at least, you know? They have ones that are a lot more made for like chefs, and they're like $10,000. And they're all gas powered. And we don't have gas, we only have electric. And eventually I found a 40-inch wide electric stove that was like the cheapest one, just made for like regular people's houses, not like chefs and rich people. But it was like $2,000 or $3,000, and I didn't have $2,000 or $3,000. But my godmother decided she wanted to help, and she said, "I'll buy you that stove." And I think my boyfriend felt weird about that, because I think he thought that if we broke up, I was just gonna take this 40-inch fucking stove with me. Can you imagine? The last time I broke up with somebody and moved all my shit into an apartment, I stood in my living room and realized I own 16 chairs. I still own them, but most of them are in the garage now. Anyway, the stove came and it was beautiful. And I baked my godmother brownies to thank her. And I took them by her house after work. And that was the last time I saw her alive. If we want to keep talking about my appliances, when I first started seeing my boyfriend, he didn't have central air or heat in the downstairs of the house. And it is really fucking expensive to like get a new AC unit. So what we would do is like, depending on the season and the weather, we would just like take the TV and everything upstairs where there was central air and heat. So like if it was cold, pack it up, we're going upstairs, babe. And if it got, you know, real nice out, all right, we can emerge to the downstairs. So I remember when we finally got like central air and heat downstairs, I was excited. And I told my coworkers about it, and they looked at me like, what? The fuck you mean y'all just didn't have it? And that's a great question. Oh man. I know in my last video I said that I was gonna give y'all an update about my like extensive mammogram imaging, and it was a bizarre experience. But I just don't feel like fucking talking about it right now. I'm fine. My boobs are fine. They're good. Healthy tissue. So I don't want to like clickbait my health or scare anyone. It was just kind of a wild goose chase. I'll tell you about it later. I want to thank you for listening. I feel like forgiveness is very important, so I want you to forgive yourself for the time that you've wasted watching this video. And have a good day.